Okay, objectivity is probably the main component of what a newspaper article is about. Now, this is not a feature article we're talking about, where it is subjective and it is someone's opinion. And this is what the main thing we're talking about here is that because we're talking about newspaper articles as opposed to columns or features, they're meant to be objective and they're meant to be unbiased. They don't really have the journalist's opinion attached to it at all. They may not even have the journalist's name on it. It really does depend on how notorious they are, I guess, or how well known they are. It may also just depend on what kind of story it is, but they're meant to be objective and they're meant to simply just tell a story from the perspective of essentially a referee. Okay, so the referee is not supposed to take sides. It's not supposed to represent one side or the other. It's just trying to get everything to flow in order for us to be able to read and make up our own minds. Okay, so you have to look at objectivity as sort of like a referee. All right, newspaper articles are written in the following ways, and they should have the following characteristics, which is, first of all, they present both sides of the story. So they present usually using at least two sources, one from one side of an argument and one from another side. Of course, there are occasions where this doesn't happen, but generally they should, first of all, present both sides if they can, and second of all, present them in such a way where they are not favouring one side or the other. They're just simply saying, he said this, she said that, that's it. That's what the story is. It's about him saying this and her saying that. They write it in a passive voice, and the passive voice automatically removes whoever's writing it from the action. I'll go through passive voice in a moment very briefly. They adopt a neutral tone as well. So not only are they passive, they're also fairly neutral in the way that they speak. And while passive voice is generally quite neutral as well, it's important just to put this point down, just in case you're thinking about how you were looking at studying a newspaper article or simply looking at writing one or writing in your own way. It is a neutral tone. It doesn't really favour an argument or another. It doesn't make an argument. It just simply tells us what happens. It's a report. So it's giving the details. It's not giving an argument like you would in an essay, for instance. And finally, it allows the reader to form their own opinion. And that's ultimately the goal of what a newspaper article is trying to do, is it's trying to present the facts for a reader so the reader goes, I like that side, or I like the other side, or that's a bad person, or whatever the article is trying to do. So it's trying to get the reader to make up their own mind, to be the one who has to make the opinion up or make their own mind up about something. And while it might seem boring to a lot of people, it is what the principles of journalism is, and it's what you will be looking at if you happen to look at a newspaper article, or if you are studying or utilising a newspaper article for any kind of writing task or additional materials.